Today I speak to you with urgency in my voice, for the message you have opened is not a coincidence. It is not a random moment in your day. It is a divine interception meant to stop you in your tracks because your life, your safety, your future is being weighed in the balance, and Archangel Michael himself has been dispatched to you with this warning, this plea, this sacred cry for you to pause and listen, because there is a shadow moving toward you, an unseen danger creeping closer than you realize, and if you treat these words lightly, if you scroll away as though they were nothing, you will be walking straight toward what could have been avoided, and I, the Lord your God, do not wish to see you hurt. Do not wish to see you in pain, do not wish to see you lose what I have given you, for you are precious to me, and I have placed my angels over you to guard you in all your ways. But even an angel cannot protect a heart that refuses to hear, and so I plead with you, my child, do not harden your spirit in this moment, do not convince yourself this is for someone else, for it is for you, exactly you, in exactly this hour, in exactly the place you are right now, and it is being spoken because the enemy of your soul has prepared something, a sudden snare, a collision in time and space that could change your life in an instant, but Archangel Michael has been standing at the edge of that moment, interceding, trying to push it away, trying to shield you, and yet he is constrained by the law I set at the foundation of creation that says you must choose to align yourself with my protection. You must say yes to my hand pulling you aside, and so these words are my way of stepping into your day, of tapping you on the shoulder, of saying, beloved, please, hear me, stop, turn, and follow the path I will now show you, for this is not drama. This is not overreaction, this is a rescue, and I do not need you to understand the full scope of what could happen. I only need you to trust me enough to obey now, for right now, even as you read, Michael is fighting unseen forces trying to create circumstances that would lead you into harm's path. Perhaps through a journey you were about to take, a meeting you were about to attend, a decision you were about to make that seemed small to you but in the spirit realm has been lit up as the place of impact, and I am intervening to pull you away from it, for I see the end from the beginning and I know where every step leads. I know the exact moment when the enemy would attempt to take from you, and I am not willing to let you walk into that unguarded, for your breath is mine, your heartbeat is mine, and your purpose on this earth is far from finished, and there are things yet for you to see, to do, to love, to create, to give, but all of that hangs in the balance of moments like this where you either listen or ignore, where you either choose caution or recklessness, and so I say to you again with the weight of eternity, my child, Archangel Michael says he is trying to save you from a big accident, and I confirm it. I sent him, and I sent these words, and I placed you here to read them, for you are standing at the threshold of a decision. Perhaps you thought today would be ordinary, perhaps you were rushing through your morning, perhaps you have been feeling distracted or unsettled without knowing why. That was my spirit stirring you, trying to make you aware, for this danger is not something your natural eyes would detect. It is hidden, dressed up to look harmless, but it carries the weight of loss. And I am not willing for you to suffer that loss, so I am calling you to step back, to delay, to change the plan you thought was set, to be extra cautious in your movements, to check your surroundings, to avoid that road, that meeting, that impulse to move forward without prayer. for every little adjustment you make in obedience now is like a wall Michael can use to keep the enemy's trap from reaching you. And in the days ahead you will not even fully know what you avoided, for I often protect you from things you never see, but in this moment I am letting you know because I want your heart to awaken to the reality that my protection is not automatic, it is a partnership, and I am offering you the shield now. But you must take it, and when you do, when you heed my words, there will be a shift in the spiritual atmosphere around you, the weight will lift, the shadow will disperse, and you will walk forward in safety, and this message will remain in your memory as the moment God Himself reached into your life to save you from what the enemy had planned. I am telling you this with such urgency because I know how easily the human heart can brush away a divine warning, how quickly the mind can say, "This is probably nothing," but I do not speak for nothing, and my angels do not move without cause, for when Archangel Michael says he is trying to save you, it is because in the spirit realm he has already seen the outlines of what could befall you. He has already seen the chain of events that could unfold if you remain unaware, and his assignment from me is to shield you from that blow, but in order for his protection to be complete, your cooperation is needed, for I will not force you to stop, I will not chain you to safety, I will invite you, warn you, call you, and you must choose to hear, and I know right now there are voices around you, distractions, thoughts, perhaps even plans that seem urgent, but I tell you, there is nothing more urgent than listening to me in this moment. For the enemy is subtle, he works through timing, through little coincidences that lead to big consequences, and the accident Michael speaks of could come in many forms. It could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be financial, it could be relational, but whatever its form, its aim is to derail you, to drain you, to steal joy, to plant fear, and to break the flow of the blessings I have prepared for you, and so I am standing here in the stillness between your breaths saying, my beloved, please, hear me, because you are deeply loved, because you matter, because there is no replacement for the life you carry, the light you carry, the purpose you carry, and the enemy knows it. 2. And that is why he seeks to strike, but I have placed a hedge around you, and Michael stands at the forefront of that hedge, sword drawn, wings spread wide, eyes fixed on the horizon where danger lurks. And even now he is resisting, pushing back, yet he needs you to take the step that closes the last gap, and that step is obedience to this word. It is pausing before you proceed, it is altering the course of your day, it is paying extra attention to every choice, every movement, every interaction, because even the smallest change can dismantle the enemy's setup, and I know you have felt things lately. Perhaps an unease when walking into certain spaces, perhaps strange delays or unexpected obstacles, and you wondered why, but those were not random, those were me and my angels slowing you down, diverting you, protecting you in ways you could not see, and now I am revealing it because the stakes are high. Because your awareness will strengthen the shield around you, because when you understand that heaven is actively intervening on your behalf, you will move with greater caution, greater prayer, greater trust, and as you do this, you will give Michael the ground he needs to dismantle the enemy's work entirely, and when this moment has passed, when the danger has been turned away, when the accident that was forming in the distance has been scattered into nothing, you will look back and realize that something in your spirit told you this was no ordinary day. Something told you to slow down, to watch, to listen, and that something was me, reaching through the noise of your world to hold you close. For I do not want you to learn by pain what you can learn by listening. I do not want you to walk through loss when you can walk through preservation. I do not want you to see the wreckage when you can see the rescue. And so I am here, repeating myself in love, in patience, in relentless pursuit of your safety, because the truth is that your life is not your own. It is a gift from me, breathed into existence for reasons bigger than you know, and the enemy has been jealous of that from the moment you took your first breath. But I have always been greater. I have always been your refuge. I have always been your deliverer, and now, right now, in this exact moment, I am proving it again by sending Michael to your side. By placing these words in front of you, by whispering into your heart that this is serious, and if you will take me seriously, you will be spared, and your path will remain clear for the blessings that are about to flow, blessings the enemy wanted to interrupt, blessings that are closer than you think, blessings that require you to be alive, healthy, and in position, and that is why I am fighting for you now. You may not realize it, but even as you sit here reading these words, there are forces moving in ways you cannot see, conversations being had in the spiritual realm, decisions being made by those I have appointed to guard you, assignments being carried out on your behalf, and all of it is for one purpose: to preserve the life I have given you, to ensure that what I planted in you will have the time to grow, to bear fruit, to reach others who are waiting for the light you carry, because you are not here by accident, and you are not expendable in my eyes. You are precious beyond measure, and I have fought for you in more battles than you know, and today is another one of those battles. But this time I am letting you feel the weight of it, because there is a choice you need to make, a response you need to give, and I am calling you to act now, not later, not when it's convenient, but now, because timing is everything in the spirit, and the danger that Michael is trying to shield you from is not patient. It is not waiting for you to be ready. It is moving forward even now, hoping to catch you off guard, hoping you will shrug off this message as over-spiritual, hoping you will let distraction or pride tell you that nothing bad could possibly happen today. But that is the very attitude the enemy uses to strike, and so I am cutting through that with a voice that refuses to be ignored. Because I love you too much to stay silent, because I see the trap and I see the exit, and I am pointing to the exit right now, urging you to step toward it, to move away from the danger zone, to shift your plans in obedience, and yes, you may feel foolish, you may feel like you are overreacting, but you will not feel foolish when you are safe. You will not feel foolish when the day ends in peace instead of chaos. You will not feel foolish when you realize that you have been preserved for something far greater than this single moment, for the enemy's plan is always short-sighted. He seeks to wound, to stop, to delay, but my plan is eternal. My plan is to give you a future and a hope. My plan is to bring you into the fullness of your destiny, and that is why I have sent my mightiest warrior to stand between you and what was coming, for Michael does not take his assignments lightly. He moves only when I command him, and when I told him to go to you, it was because I knew that without his intervention, the enemy's plot could have found an opening, but Michael is relentless in his defense of those I love. And right now his wings are spread wide, his sword burns with the fire of my glory, and his voice thunders in the unseen realm declaring that you will not be touched, you will not be harmed, you will not be stolen from, because you are mine, and I will not allow it, yet you must still heed this moment. You must still align yourself with the safety I am offering, for even the most powerful angel cannot override your free will, and that is why this message matters so much, that is why I am speaking with such repetition and urgency, because you are standing at a fork in the road, one path lined with traps you cannot see, the other lined with protection and peace, and I have already marked the safe path for you, but you must choose it. And when you do, you will feel the shift, you will sense the air around you lighten, you will notice how certain delays, changes, or interruptions that you once saw as inconveniences are actually shields I placed around you, because my protection rarely looks like you expect. But it is always perfect, and today you will see it if you are willing to trust me fully. I know, my beloved, that sometimes you feel as though warnings like these belong to other people, that somehow you are distant from the reach of danger, but I tell you the truth, this message is yours, it was written for you, delivered to you, and timed for this exact moment, because the enemy does not choose his target based on who deserves it, he chooses based on who he fears will walk into their calling. And you are such a one, you carry potential in you that terrifies the kingdom of darkness, and that is why the strike was planned, but I, the Lord your God, saw it long before it formed. And I declared over you that you would be spared, and so I set in motion a chain of protection, a divine interception that began days ago, even weeks ago, as I shifted small pieces of your schedule, delayed certain events, moved certain people into or out of your path, all so this moment could be possible, so that Michael could stand before you and say, I am trying to save you from a big accident. And mean it with the authority of heaven, for when my angels speak, they speak with the weight of my word behind them, and my word does not return void, but still I invite you into participation, because your agreement with me closes the last door to the enemy, your trust in me becomes the shield Michael wields. Your obedience becomes the force that turns this day into a victory instead of a loss, and I am speaking to you now because I do not want even a fraction of the enemy's plan to touch you. I do not want you to bear any scar that could have been avoided, for my will for you is life, abundance, and joy, and while trials will come, there are certain attacks that I will always fight to stop before they reach you, and this is one of them. This is why you are hearing my voice so clearly, this is why. You cannot ignore the pull in your heart to pay attention, because the Spirit in you knows this is truth, the Spirit in you recognizes the sound of your shepherd's voice, and I am calling you to safety now. Not later, because later may be too late, and I know what lies on the other side of each path you could take today. I know the ripple effects of every decision, I know how one moment can change a lifetime, and I have determined that this moment will not be one of harm for you if you will simply stay under the shelter of my wings, and I promise you this, if you will heed this warning. If you will shift even the smallest thing in your plan today in alignment with my prompting, you will be spared. You will pass through this day untouched by the harm that sought you, and you will give testimony later of how God stepped in, how God rescued you, how what could have been a story of loss became a story of deliverance. And that testimony will strengthen not only you but others who hear it, for every act of protection I perform in your life carries seeds for the faith of others, and this is why I take it so seriously. This is why Michael has been relentless in reaching you, because your safety is tied to more than just you. It is tied to the purposes I have set in motion through you, purposes the enemy would love to disrupt, but he will not succeed. Not today, not while my voice is speaking, not while you choose to listen, for I have already written the ending to this moment, and it is victory, it is preservation, it is peace. You must understand, my child, that there are moments in life when the unseen becomes more real than what you see with your physical eyes. And this is one of those moments, for while you may be surrounded by the ordinary sounds of your day, there is a battlefield around you that you cannot see, where forces of darkness have gathered, hoping to intercept your steps, and where my angels have assembled, holding the line with unshakable strength, for I have given them charge over you to keep you in all your ways, and today that promise is being fulfilled in a way so specific, so precise, that if you could glimpse it, you would fall to your knees in awe at how deeply I care for you, how personally I watch over you, how nothing in your life escapes my notice, and this is why Michael has come with this urgent plea, because the enemy's plan is not vague, it is targeted, calculated, and meant to come suddenly, like a snare snapping shut, but I am a God who sees the snare long before it is set, and I am a Father who refuses to let his children walk into a trap without warning, and I tell you this now because I have already begun to dismantle the chain of events that would have led you into harm, yet there is one last piece, and that piece is your response, for when you act on this word, when you choose to pause, to delay, to take the safer route, to listen to that inner nudge that says don't go there or wait a little longer, you break the final link in the enemy's design, and what he meant for harm will dissolve into nothing, and you will walk forward untouched. And though you may never see the danger you avoided, you will feel the peace of knowing you are covered, you will sense the gratitude of knowing that heaven intervened for you, and in the quiet moments you will hear me whisper, I kept you, because I love you, and that truth will sink deeper than any fear ever could, and I know there may be some part of you right now that is wrestling with doubt, wondering if this is truly for you. But I tell you it is no accident you are reading this at this very time. It is no accident that your eyes have landed on these words when the warning is most needed, for I have aligned every detail so that you would not miss it, because I love you with an everlasting love. And I will never stop fighting for you, never stop sending my angels to guard you, never stop calling you back from the edge of danger, and today is simply one more proof of that promise. One more moment in which you will see that my hand is over you, guiding, protecting, preserving, and leading you into the life I have planned, a life the enemy cannot steal as long as you remain under my covering. And that covering is open to you now, wide and strong, if you will step into it fully, without hesitation, without fear, knowing that I am your refuge and your fortress, your God, in whom you can trust. I need you to feel the seriousness of this moment, not to scare you, but to awaken you, for too many times my children mistake my warnings as mere suggestions, and then they wonder why the enemy's traps seem to catch them off guard, but you, my beloved, have been given this word so you can walk above the snare, so you can move in wisdom before harm ever reaches you. And today Michael is not just standing near you. He is actively blocking the enemy's attempts, pushing back forces that had hoped to draw you into a sudden moment of impact, and as he stands, he calls out to you in the Spirit, please, don't skip this. Open it quickly. Act now, for he knows what it costs when people ignore the urgent. And I, the Lord, have chosen to amplify his voice to you because you are worth saving, your purpose is worth protecting, your life is worth more than the enemy wants you to believe, and I know you may think of accidents as things that happen only in the physical, a collision, a fall, a moment of distraction, but the accident Michael speaks of could be more than that. It could be a spiritual ambush, a sudden financial loss, a betrayal timed to break your trust, or a health issue meant to take you off your path, and I see them all before they can touch you, which is why I am stepping in now, because today is not meant to be a day of sorrow, today is meant to be a day of preservation, of seeing my hand intervene before your eyes, and I want you to move through the rest of this day with a heightened awareness, not in fear, but in watchfulness, knowing that every step matters, every decision matters, and every delay or redirection could be the very thing that spares you, for my protection often comes disguised as inconvenience, and those who trust me enough to accept the delay will always find that it was for their good. And right now I am asking you to trust that the smallest shift in your plans, the smallest moment of caution, could be the exact obedience that closes the enemy's access, and when you choose that path, heaven rejoices, the angels strengthen their guard. And the outcome is sealed in your favor, for my love for you is not passive, it is active, it is fierce, it is determined to keep you standing, breathing, moving forward, and fulfilling the reason I placed you on this earth. And I assure you, nothing the enemy has planned for you today will succeed as long as you remain under the shelter of my wings. Even now, as you take in these words, I am moving in places you cannot see, shifting people, altering circumstances, and creating divine detours that will lead you away from danger. For I am not only your God but also your protector, your strategist, the one who sees the entire battlefield when you can only see a few steps ahead, and it is out of that perspective that I send you this warning. Because I know where the enemy was planning to intersect with your path, and I know exactly how to lead you away from it, but I need you to be attentive, to be sensitive to the little signs I will place in your way today, the sudden hesitation you feel before leaving, the small voice telling you to wait 5 more minutes, the sense to take a different route, the unexpected interruption that delays you. These are not accidents. These are divine interventions, and if you receive them with gratitude, instead of frustration, you will move in sync with my protection, and the danger will pass you by completely, for what the enemy had hoped to use to harm you will be rendered powerless. And you will walk forward untouched, covered by the prayers that have gone up for you, covered by the shield Michael has raised on your behalf, and covered most of all by my unfailing love. And I want you to know that you are never alone in moments like this, for even when you feel unaware of the threats around you, I am constantly aware, and I am always assigning my angels to stand guard, and Michael, in particular, has been close to you lately because the enemy has been probing for weaknesses, testing for openings, and trying to use timing to his advantage, but I have not allowed him to find the door he seeks, and I will not allow it today if you keep your steps within the path I show you. And I promise you, this day will end in peace, not in loss, if you simply remain alert and trust the nudges I give you, for I have already declared over you that no weapon formed against you will prosper, and this is the fulfillment of that promise. You are being shielded before the weapon is even loosed, you are being guarded before the accident is even formed, and you are being spared because you are mine. And I take joy in keeping you safe. I want you to understand something very important. When I send a warning like this, it is not to fill you with fear, it is to fill you with wisdom, because wisdom builds a wall that fear never can, and when you act on that wisdom, you align yourself with the shield I have already placed over you. And today that shield is strong, reinforced by the prayers you have prayed, by the love I have for you, and by the assignment I have given to Michael and the host of heaven to watch over you, for they are not passive observers, they are active defenders, standing between you and what you cannot see, and right now there is a barrier of light around you. A spiritual perimeter that the enemy is finding impenetrable as long as you remain under it, and this is why I am urging you to keep close to me. To guard your words, to guard your steps, to avoid unnecessary risks, because your obedience is the final lock on that door, and once it is closed, the danger will pass you by completely. And I know that in your human mind it may seem like overreaction to change your plans or to slow down when you feel fine. But my child, I see the full picture, and I know how one single second can alter everything, and I am using this moment to shift you into safety, to place you in the right place at the right time so that you are not anywhere near the place the enemy